Hello, John Adams here, Republican candidate for Congress here in the 15th Congressional District. I'm continuing my tour of the forgotten people of Ohio. We're here in New Lexington in Perry County. So here, I want to show you some pictures here of Perry County, New Lexington, as we travel along here. Perry County has the distinction of trying to get an adequate education for all of their students. Now, I retrieved the following information from Wikipedia, and I'll read it to you. In 1991, the Ohio Coalition for Equity and Adequacy for School Funding filed suit in the Perry County courts against the state of Ohio for failing to provide adequate funding to educate the state's students. The case was known as DeRoff versus State of Ohio. About 500 school districts in Ohio contended that school systems in areas with higher property values could much more easily meet the needs and provide more opportunities for their students, while students in poor areas suffered. The districts claimed that the state failed to provide an efficient educational system, as dictated by the Ohio Constitution of 1851, by relying so heavily upon local property taxes to fund schools. Students in poorer areas like Perry County, they suffered. In 1996, the Ohio State Supreme Court ruled that Ohio's current method, then, of funding schools violated the Ohio Constitution. Unfortunately for state officials, the Ohio Supreme Court provided no real guidance on how to create a constitutional school funding program. The Ohio State Legislature, instead of implementing an entire overhaul of the system, simply authorized more state funds to schools. That action did not really overhaul Ohio's educational system to end the heavy reliance upon property taxes. In my opinion, education is extremely important to our youth. They must be offered an equitable and adequate opportunity for an education to prepare them for their adult lives. When I served on Portsmouth City Council, I cast the deciding vote to locate Shawnee State College, now University, to be located in Portsmouth instead of 5 miles north of the city. Shawnee State University offers the students in southern Ohio and northern Kentucky an opportunity to gain a college education. Later, when I served on the Portsmouth City School Board during the time of the DeRoff versus State of Ohio ruling, our school board implemented many changes necessary for our students. We were faced with the same problems of not having enough money to provide an adequate education for all of our students. So, in order to be fiscally responsible, we had to use the available tax dollars in a prudent way. We cut out waste, fraud, and abuse in the system as best we could. We tried to find more money so that we could get our students a better education. We had issues with vendors who were selling to the school system that was corrupt. We had employees using their school time while operating their personal businesses on our dime and our time. We stopped that. It has been said that politics is all local. I agree with that, especially on a school board. That is where the rubber meets the road. Parents want their children to get the best education possible, and many of the teachers want the same thing and are working hard to do that. What I found on the board was a contentious leadership in a teachers' union. Their tactics in attempting to get higher pay and increased benefits devolved into personal threats to school board members and their families. That is no way to negotiate anything in life. This is why I say that school boards are where the rubber meets the road. No other government body deals with those issues. Nowhere. Not in a state legislature and not in Congress. Friends, our campaign is the beginning of the fight to the death for the soul of our nation. On August the 3rd, I would be honored with your vote. Thank you, and may God bless America.